Hi guys, it's Petr. So welcome to another episode of my live RNG roulette session playing with the Black Pirate app. So again, I'm recording this audio comment after my session. So this video is about 30 minutes long, but this time you will see even tougher session and more difficult session than the previous one. You will see then my approximately drawdown will be approximately 400 this time. And simply what I do, because as I said with these tables in Casino Club where you start with the 10 cents base bet, so maximum is €5 units on the numbers, so you cannot bet more than 5. So I will be betting 5 and even several times to come back from my loss and drawdown. And as I explained, so I always just follow the numbers prediction from my velocity numbers algorithm, even that I'm in some kind of bigger drawdown, this time 400. It was always maximum and stop loss is 500. This time it was successful earlier than 500, so I was not forced to stop playing. And you will see then if I simply cannot make it, because I was increasing using my variance from average, again 7.5 coefficient, and I was betting 3 units per number, and in these 8 spins I was not successful. And then I increased the base bet to 5, which is a maximum per number on this type of tables, and I was again not successful. So I continue using this, let's say, maximum bet 5 on one number on this table several next rounds. And as we know, our risk reward ratio for this algorithm or algorithms is quite high, therefore it's highly likely then you will hit several times even with this high bet already per number 5 units, and therefore you can relatively fast recover. And you can see then there is a really need to define your stop loss, because if I would reach 500 and I had to take my stop loss and stop playing, okay, my bankroll would be damaged, but not so much. So from 3.4 thousand I would have 2.9. This is still quite good and possible to play, that's fine. But important is then once I hit this limit 5 by number, so I can't increase anything, and therefore even if I hit several times in a row it might be then I'm maybe break even or still in a small minus. Depends when in the progression of the 8 spins I would hit my numbers. So therefore it's quite good to have such a stop loss and take a break if something is going against you. But as I said, normally it's a very rare case, then you have to take it. Therefore in general and from long term you should be in a plus and enjoying the roulette sessions. That's simply my strategy, and it's quite good working. So therefore I recommend to watch and see this episode completely, especially the part which is somewhere in the middle of the recording, maybe in the last third part of the recording, so you can search for that and see how it's going. And of course it's also for me a bit, let's say, stressful. I wouldn't say stressful, but frustrating. Then I missed 3 levels, and I mostly missing the 4th level, even the 5th level I hitting on mostly the last 2 spins, which is the one of the lowest profit from the progression and so on. This is somehow accumulated together. Therefore I always focus on the session, so I don't want to be disturbed with anything. I focus on the session, I play according to my velocity numbers algorithm, numbers which are predicted, and you can see then so far it's quite good and successful, this approach. So it's not, I've already recorded so many sessions and simply this approach works. You can see that. And even then you see at the end of the recording then in the app, all three algorithms will be, let's say relatively small, but will be in a minus. But that's, the reason is only because the app calculates 8 spins, 3 levels, and that's it, and reset the bettings to a base bet. But to really let your bankroll grow, you should use also variance from average coefficient. So if it is not successful in 3 spins, 3 levels, then increase, for example, using 5, using even 7.5 and 5 coefficient, and start next 2 times 8 spins playing. This is the idea behind, because this will help you to, it's very likely then if you use this coefficient in a 4th on a 5th level, then it's very likely then you can recover from your loss fast and again reset your base bet and continue playing. That's important. I was also thinking whether I should develop this. We have a variance from average coefficient like a field on the Black Pirate app, and somehow maintain then app is also taking into consideration these coefficients and increasing the base bet. On the other hand, as I'm using the settings like spins, session levels, and progression aggressiveness, including base bet, these settings is used for all 3 algorithms which are active. Therefore, I should develop 3 different fields for variance from average coefficients, because every single algorithm can be in a different stage and different betting and so on situation. So therefore, currently don't plan to develop it, as would be maybe too complicated. But we know then typically everyone can calculate what does it mean, multiply your base bet with 5 and just 8 spins flat betting. In Casino Club it's quite easy, because I can press auto play option, enter my increased base bet and let it play 8 spins, and in case of single win it's stopped. And so I don't even watch that if you don't have the nerves and to watch whether you will win or not in 4th or 5th spin, because in this case you are definitely in some kind of drawdown. Then you can let it play 8 spins and see whether you will make it or not after 8 spins. So this is my experience and the way how do I play. I'm currently considering the option whether I should also offer Black Pirate app to someone else than just myself. I receive several emails asking whether app is for selling and available. Well, currently it's not. I'm considering then I would summarize all 3 apps and also my VRSEDGE system, some kind of overview, and you might make your choice what you like to have. But if I decide to release the Black Pirate app to public worldwide, I'm currently considering I will only release 10 copies worldwide. Then my Musketeers app, only 50 copies is available worldwide. Currently the stock is lower because already several people bought that, so it's less than 50 copies. And for Black Pirate, as I would call it like my masterpiece, I simply took best of the best of my approach for random number generators. So I said I strictly betting on 4 numbers, 6 interesting algorithms, and separate money management, and you can compare. Testing is also possible to do very fast, and therefore I'm saying I'd like to offer it, but the price will be relatively high, or not so much high, but simply higher. But I will provide probably only 10 copies worldwide, and that's it. As I see the big potential in this app. Everything is just simplified, so if you imagine, then you can just enter your numbers from live session, you receive the predictions, you can pick your algorithm and just betting based on that. So that's quite nice potential. As I'm saying, also this app is not providing 100% sure winning system. This is simply not possible. Nobody can provide that. What gives you definitely significant advantage if you wanna play online roulette and you wanna create a profit for yourself. To be honest, if I would be just sitting in front of the table without any app or idea, it would be extremely difficult to decide. I would most probably would not bet on numbers. I would be betting on some colors and even and odd and so, but I do believe that this is not the way how to be profitable playing roulette, because if you are betting on for example red or black, normally you tend to use martingale progression, just double your bets, and I don't think then this is the approach which would be really successful. And even so, if you take your base bet like 1 or 5 using martingale colors, then what will happen? Then maybe you are in a drawdown to 300 and you are betting 200 on red or black to win just €5 back. So that's really too risky for absolutely not interesting reward at the end. Therefore I prefer betting on these 4 numbers, and if I have this app next to me and I can really focus on the session, then, because also in the past I will think, okay, which numbers should I bet? So if, for example, you can see now there is a number 0, and one of my ideas is then if 0 will hit, then you can take a numbers pattern like 0, 10, 20, 30, because you know it looks good. And you will see then, if you, let's say, focus on this pattern, if one of these 4 numbers will hit, you will be betting on these 4 numbers. You will see then it's not so bad idea, it's quite often successful. But again, you have to think how long, how many spins, how many levels, and so on. So this you can always also try, but without app it will be very difficult to, let's say, stay focused. Don't try any crazy betting, and especially normally you tend to do not stop after 8 spins. You think, okay, 8 spins already some time, I already had a 60% probability then in my 8 spins I will hit, and finally it's still not coming. So I say, okay, then probability will increase if I will be betting next 8 spins the same numbers. But as I said, be careful, because easily 4 numbers can really have a long time where they will come, so it can be 60-80 spins and your progression will be over. So therefore, even if you try, let's say, like 1 level and 16 spins, you can try. For example, I can easily take my Black Pirate app and then set up that I want to play 2 levels and not 8 but 16 spins. But you will see that there will be many times successful, but once it is not successful, your drawdown will be a really big one, because you will be playing already progression for 32 spins, and it's already, this one is a long one, and your numbers will be changing after 16 spin, not 8, so the frequency will be much lower, changing your numbers and so on. So all these options is possible. I can test in my Black Pirate app, but also you can test it as well in a Musketeers app or VRSEDGE app. So all of this is possible. I would say the focus of the VRSEDGE app is mostly like a classic analytical tool, so you can see the standard deviation 1 to 3, also the averages and special VRS ratio and non-hit, and all of this is great help and tool for you. So you can also analyze what is going on the table and decide, I want to bet on this street because it's non-hit already 40 times, didn't show up, so I want to bet on this street or not. This is quite helpful and so on. I'm currently, let's say, recording these sessions with the Black Pirate, and also with the Muscarios app, because I'm using this velocity number algorithm because it's my challenge, you know. Then my webpage shareschoice.com, let's say, started my challenge to turn 400 to 100,000. It's always a crazy number, I know, still it is. But therefore I'm using the velocity number algorithm, but I'm also, if I'm not recording and playing this challenge, I'm also playing with the VRSEDGE app, because it gives me nice signals. Mostly after 50 spins you see always some signals, like something is not hitting some streets or my predefined numbers patterns and so on. So it's quite great tool still for me. And Muscarios app are using this unique VRE ratio, which I developed, like a new one. So this is only in Muscarios app available. It's also quite nice to take the, let's say, 4 numbers with the highest ratio, and betting on them is also quite good. So okay, I would say after some minutes you will see my very tough session, where I have to use my variance from average coefficients, and not only once but several times, to even recover from my loss, always following the numbers, velocity numbers predictions. It helped me stay focused. So thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.